feeling good is more important to me than looking good by any means. And welcome back for another video. I know, 2 videos in 1 week. This video is really interesting, and it's actually something that I've experienced for the past year, something that I think, how can I put this? It just wasn't working for me. I've always been a runner, right? So I've always been more like on the slim side, and that's just how my body kind of naturally is. What I do is not gonna work for everyone, so I'm not gonna tell you that, oh, you shouldn't be lifting weights anymore, you shouldn't do any more strength training, none of that. I'm obviously not a fitness trainer. The only fitness I've ever taught was yoga, and it was a very basic level, but I'm looking forward to doing it again. And so yeah, I think I started weightlifting last year, 2021, around September. And I was very thin, I had no muscle on me, I had just been doing a lot of running and HIIT, wasn't doing like any yoga, wasn't lifting any weights. But I felt good, you know, even though I was more on the thinner side, I felt very energetic. I wasn't on any caffeine, just a lot of like high raw vegan foods. But then I started getting very influenced by a lot of the things I was seeing on social media, and seeing a lot of these girls like, you know, saying like, oh, you shouldn't want to be skinny, you should want to be like bulkier and have more muscle mass on you. And this whole like gains culture thing, coming from someone who has been studying nutrition for a while now, a lot of the foods that we see incorporated in this like health freedom, food freedom trend will not give you health freedom and will not make you healthy in the long run. What I see are a lot of beautiful women, right, who have amazingly sculpted bodies, but they're eating a lot of sugar-laden foods, a lot of saturated fats, a lot of grains, hardly any fruit, hardly any vegetables, drinking a ton of coffee, a lot of processed proteins. And remember, it's like I said, the body is highly adaptable, right? So the body can adapt to that kind of diet. It's just that in the long run, those foods may not serve you as well as if you were eating a more plant-based diet early on. And there's pros and cons to each. So again, like, I'm not judging, I'm not saying like one way is the way. This is my experience, and it might be what a lot of people are also feeling. Oh, I'm not wearing my ring. Where's my ring? Oh. Sorry, I wasn't wearing my engagement ring. It felt weird. But yeah, so I stopped eating like high raw vegan, and I was just eating like 50% raw and 50% cooked. And then I started consuming a lot of like spaghetti and Beyond Meat meatballs and Beyond Meat burgers and a lot of protein oatmeal and peanut butter and just like a lot of dry foods. And just going back and remembering how that felt, I remember always feeling very dehydrated, but also very like puffy. Like I was holding on to a lot of water, but I still wasn't like quenched. And because a lot of these foods were cooked and were just dry, and looking back and remembering how I was feeling then, thinking I was feeling okay, is nothing compared to how good I'm feeling right now. And I'm also going to share some pictures of how I looked. I was a little bit bulkier because I was putting on muscle mass. I was also taking creatine, like a vegan creatine, that was just making me really puffy. And my fiance is actually a nurse, and he made a really good point, and that is, yes, weightlifting does have its benefits for sure. I'm not saying that I will never pick up like a dumbbell again or like not do any strength training, but what is associated more with longevity would be cardiovascular health, because cardiovascular diseases are on the rise and are the leading cause of death in the world, especially here in a developed country. Even though I was going to the gym and was like lifting weights and using these machines, I was sedentary all day long, wasn't walking, wasn't running, nothing. So I was just lifting weights, getting bulky, and I don't know, maybe my arteries were clogging a bit. I felt sluggish and like just more fatigued, I think. And I was also like on a lot of coffee, and I was using creamer, and it was just a mess. It was a mess. So spring was rolling around, it was around March, and I thought, okay, I'm not happy with where I am because I'm not comfortable. Again, this is just me. Like, I don't like that my clothes are fitting tighter. I don't want to buy new clothes. I don't like that I feel bloated all the time. I don't like that I feel like I look a bit bigger, like I'm uncomfortable, and I'm just not eating as many fruits and vegetables as I would like. And that was my main thing, right? Because I loved high raw veganism, and the fact that I wasn't doing that, I don't even have the words like to describe how that was, right? So like I said, I've always been a runner, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start running again. So I started running again, and then I also wanted to pick up hot yoga again. So I've been doing that for 2 months. Running in the morning for 30 minutes, and then working all day as I do, sitting down, and then getting up again to go to hot yoga in the evenings has been absolutely amazing. Amazing. I have seen incredible results. I feel much more slimmed, I feel more toned, my clothes fit me better, I have a lot of energy, I could walk, I could sweat, I'm more tolerant to the Texas heat. It has been so healing. I have scoliosis. My spine has gotten so much stronger. I can actually do locust pose now with both my legs in the air. It's awesome. And that's another thing, like doing yoga and hot yoga, a lot of people think like, oh, it's not really a workout, but it is. There's definitely some cardio in there. You can definitely feel your heart rate accelerate. Another thing, as a yoga instructor, the way I was taught is that strength does not equate with muscle mass. So there are a lot of strength training type of poses in yoga that aren't gonna make you bulky, but they're gonna make you really strong. And I think hot yoga is what I was missing in my routine. Last summer I was doing a lot of running, but like I said, I was like very slim, had no tone, had no definition. I think you could call me like that skinny fat. I was just like really thin with no tone. But now I have slimmed back down, and I am just as toned probably as I was when I was weightlifting. And I've been doing this for almost 3 months. And I've noticed amazing changes. So yeah, that's why I don't really follow gains culture anymore. And that just goes to show how influencing, right, through social media, and how we struggle to identify what is right for us. And I think for me, that was a big thing. I was like always in between, like, oh, should I be like a healthy vegan, or should I be like a bulky kind of a girl? But that's not me. And if you know me, you know that's not me, right? Like, that to me was out of character a bit. I just think I got like easily influenced and sort of lost my own path. And again, like, just because I know as a nutrition student, as someone who's almost done with my courses, a lot of the foods, like a lot of spaghetti and processed vegan meats, and, you know, I do take raw vegan protein, but like taking like creatine and like L-glutamine and just like all these things that, you know, analytically, having been tested, I don't need those things, and I was taking them, wreaking havoc on my kidneys and my liver. I know that the path I'm on right now, being a high raw vegan, is going to lead me to longevity. And remember, I do not eat fully raw, I said high raw, so I still consume legumes, and once in a while I will consume cooked grain, but I think cooked foods would mostly just be legumes and like sweet potato. But everything else is raw, everything else still has its life force and its beautiful minerals and nutrients. And if you are feeling like you're being heavily influenced, kind of take a step back and sort of identify what those mechanisms or triggers are for you, and to decide for yourself what makes you feel your best, what makes you feel healthy, right? Because I think I could go and get a 6-pack, but I'm not gonna feel very good. And what do I want? I want to feel good. Feeling good is more important to me than looking good by any means. So I hope you guys liked what I had to offer. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll be seeing you guys soon.